All right, so what this next page, at the top of page 2, I believe, is showing is that sometimes these formulation can be just shown with the different ingredients in parts, rather than saying grams or mils or whatever. Again, whenever you see this, they will always be either weight parts or volume parts. And in this case, probably instinctively, you could look at this and say, okay, ointments, zinc oxide, tar, that's going to be measured in weight. And so in that case, it really doesn't matter what unit of measure you give them as long as they're all the same. It's a ratio, 5 parts to 10 parts to 50 parts. You could say 5 pounds to 10 pounds to 50 pounds. You could say 5 tons to 10 tons to 50 tons. You could say 5 kilograms to 10 kilograms to 50 kilograms. But in the case, as you know, in pharmacy, we always use the metric system, and gram is our basically our, one of our base units of measures. So we're obviously going to use metric, and I'm going to use grams. So basically, instead of just saying parts, I'll just say 5 grams to 10 grams to 50 grams. There you have it. It's as easy as that. All right. Again, this is one of the ones that does not give a total parts here. And so I'm just going to add them up myself, and the total is 65 grams. All right. So I believe the question asked, what if you want 1,000 grams? That's what it says over here. What if you want 1,000 grams of this one? Well, again, let's find the multiplication factor. All right. So let me do that down here. My multiplication factor is how much I want, which is 1,000 grams, over how much this recipe is for, which is 65 grams. And my grams fall out, and I'm left with a number of 15.38. That is my multiplication factor. Now all I have to do is go up here and multiply all of these by 15.38. All right? So 5 times 15.38 is 76.9. And I'm using grams. 10 times 15.38 is 153.8, and 50 times 15.38 equals 769 grams. So now I know how to make 1,000 grams of this recipe. Take 76.9 grams of coal tar, 153.8 grams of zinc oxide, and 769 grams of hydrophilic ointment, mix them together, and voila, I have what I wanted. So pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Now I'll go ahead and I will let you guys do the in-class work problem. So I'm going to turn this off, and you can, don't do it yet. Wait, hold on, don't do it yet. In a minute, I'll have you just go ahead and do them if you want. And then I'll come back and show you how I did them. But here, see this number 1? Okay, remember what we talked about last time in the third week? That this hexachlorophene here, it says 0.1%. That is the final concentration. Okay, so of course, whether you make 1,000,000 mils of this or rivers full or whatever, it doesn't matter. The hexachlorophene concentration is always going to be 0.1%. So in this case, when you do a multiplication factor, just use your brains. You're not going to multiply that by your multiplication factor, because then you're not going to have 0.1%. You can multiply these and do that, but then you're going to have to figure out how much hexachlorophene you need to make whatever the total you want. And in this case, I'm saying 10 pints. And of course, you're going to need to convert that 10 pints to metric, right? That seems a bit obvious. So you're going to have to figure out how much hexachlorophene you need to make a 0.1% solution if it's 10 pints. Okay, that should make sense. If it doesn't, we're going to go over that. Here's another one that's sort of the same thing. The methylparaben, propylparaben is 4% weight to weight in this recipe. So it's always going to be, no matter how much you make, whether you make 1,000 grams or whatever, it's always going to be 4% methylparaben. Let me give you another heads up about this one. When you read this problem, it's a little tricky. I don't mean it to be tricky, but just think about it. The methylparaben propylparaben is a pre-mixed mixture that, as I say up here, is 65 parts methylparaben and 35 parts of the propylparaben. So just be aware of that when you do this problem, that this is this mixture, and you want a total of 4% of this mixture in it. All right? Again, I will help you with that one when the time comes. And so then, I don't know, this one refers to the one above. So go ahead, I'm going to turn this off, and you guys go ahead and work these problems, and then when you're ready, you can resume. All right. Cool.